Peace, y'all. My apologies. I was still processing something as I was starting the live. I was basically saying in my head, nothing is by coincidence. The phones are 12:12. The plane just flew by, and there's birds that are chirping, and it's 12:12 at night. Um, yeah, don't worry about why I'm doing the live at this time. Mind your business. But all day I've been processing a message, and I was wondering like where did it live at within me? I believe that it was calling me to a rate of not necessarily just to be challenged within myself, but for me to basically answer questions that I believe had been laying dormant within like my psyche that I wasn't willing to. Just another plane, planes back to back. Give me a second, y'all. Like it was just laying dormant inside my body, you know. Um, Today I was super busy. I was busy all day. Really, really like pouring back into myself and into my baby, but nevertheless busy. And I couldn't really take a moment to give what I wanted to give because I recognized how I was making stops energetically. I wasn't intending for. I shielded myself before I be walking out of the house. I place a shield over myself. I ask for protection. I ask for covering. I ask for grace for my day. I set my intentions for my day, so on and so forth. So when I go out and I exchange, um, when I interact, when I'm present, just in general, I recognize it doesn't matter what I do. If something wants to basically be shared, it'll come through. And today was one of those days. It's like it's been like that for the last like several weeks, so to speak. And one of the message I got today was they're testing y'all's humanity, and I'm like, huh? And I kept on hearing your humanity is being tested. Your humanity is being tested. And then right at 11:11 tonight, I heard appreciation isn't convenient, and that struck a chord with me. Um, a lot of the times in this construct, in this world that we live in, we look at things with a dollar sentiment towards it. And I'm very careful how I speak about, you know, wealth, riches and money, because I recognize how all things are connected and how you don't want to basically cast something away because you are not in experience of it. And because you're not in current experience of it, you decide to place judgment based off of how you perceive somebody else to be in it. That's like a big thing that we all should basically start to lean towards if we care, because it allows us to go through our cycles, and when we get there, when we're meant, for wherever there is, we will be able to align to it perfectly so we could be in that rate of experience that we desire, or we feel like other people should be on. Speaking about appreciation not being convenient, a lot of the times in my journey, I've been in these spaces that have been really, really magical. And I always say, because I have like this little quiet, weird rate of like optimism, that it feels weird because it's like it'll all look bad. And it's like almost just because I'm super optimistic about it, it's like the 0.001%, it looks out for me and shit'll happen in my favor, right? So I keep it at that rate. However, sometimes things don't make sense because they just don't make sense, and it's not meant to be made anything, it just is. And a lot of the times, because we are in the so called, dot period and exchange rate with people, where we're in the thinking bubble, where we're in the wondering, the pondering bubble, where we're in the consideration bubble, a lot of things are because they are. We have an opportunity at this point to decide and make decisions that are firm based off of what we have energetically accepted and what we're not willing to accept, right? You see these things being dropped out into, you know, I don't know why I was about to say something about some type of Oris field. I don't know what that is. But it's like it's being dropped out into the our communities. It's being dropped out into the public domain. They're showing you these stories, and it's almost this rate of when will enough be enough. And the reality of it is that a lot of the times people aren't actually present in participation. They're standing by, entertained by something that they should be mobile and active on. Yet because we've been dictated to so much, our mobility and our actions have even been stagnation. We'll set a march up when really some things just require a physical correction. Yeah, physical annotate. Like we got to be able to put something on something when something happens. Yet a lot of the times we pick up things that don't make motion, that ain't moving nothing, and then it causes us to be still, and then we're still sitting in the midst of something, right? One of the reasons why Spirit basically needed me to sit in a rate within myself with this message today was because a lot of the times, being a medium, being a channeler, you go into a space and you'll connect with somebody's energy and you might not even want to. It'd be the days where I'll say, I'm not going to connect to anybody's energy. Almost like I'm telling them, listen, y'all don't say nothing to me. I'm going to be, in my own energy. It happens like that a lot for me. But for the most part, the days that I say that, it always basically is a loud day. And I choose to move based off of how I'm feeling versus shutting that down. At first it was, I didn't want to shut it down because I feared that it would turn off, because I had been through so much with my gifts being tampered with, dealing and being around the wrong spaces and the wrong people, right? But then it became a point to where I recognized closure is so vital when it comes to certain aspects that go undone and that are out of our hands because they're not meant to make sense. It's always pieces that are being placed to an even bigger piece that is an even bigger piece that then becomes, cosmic, and that it can sometimes be above our head. And a lot of us have been put into these grids where we get to show up and be the light that beams in spaces that have only been dark. And it sucks so much because a lot of the times, because the whole destiny swapping thing has been a big conversation, a lot of the times people are wanting to show up, one, to wear the suit of somebody else. And we don't recognize, like, how inconvenient it is to not be able to have what is necessary for us because people refuse to give what it is that they have to offer by wanting to constantly mimic or place themselves in a position to wear something that was never meant for them, right? When we show up and we allow ourselves to be aligned to that which is, and we do what is placed on our heart to do, it's not a rate of convenience that we sit in this appreciation with our gift. It's a necessity. Y'all, sometimes I won't be able to move beyond what I'm doing. I'll start rocking, and it'll be like I'll go through a whole series with myself energetically, allowing myself to just be at a rate within my spirit. And I'll do it without me even being aware of it. And I have to catch myself, and then I recognize, okay, this is what's going on here. Okay? I got to tell you something. I don't know if you're comfortable with this, but this is what I'm being told. Or is it okay if I have to be able to show up at a rate? What I'm seeing lately is that a lot of the times people will wait until the very thing that came to give them the thing that they were requiring, right? The very connection, the very interaction, the experience that occurred for them to basically be in the trajectory that allows them to start to propel. A lot of people will hurry up and move beyond that space, and they won't even give it the gratitude or the appreciation that it's needed because they believe that it is owed to them, and they treat it so casually. It is going to become a rate when Big Mama going to take those who she's been allowing to be deck noted out into these communities to wake up all of these lost souls, and she's going to wrap them in a space where they can cultivate and create without being siphoned and ransacked and stolen from and